Hello. So last week I got a scam call that almost had me convinced I was talking to a real person. And luckily I'm not suffering from any sort of boomer syndrome, so I realized I was in a conversation with a robot. I was con- I was convinced it was a convincing robot, but not convincing enough to fool me. Then this week, I had to call a rental management company because I had some books delivered to my old address and their tenant wouldn't give me them. And I mistakenly called when they were closed. I was just gonna leave a message. I was like, oh, they're closed. But a very well spoken woman answered and interacted with me. Told me she'd leave them a message. And at first I thought nothing of it. I hung up the phone. And then I remembered that she politely informed me that nobody was in the office. And I paused. How was somebody answering my call if nobody was in the office? Granted, I've been to this office. It's like a 5-person office. And then it dawned on me that maybe I was talking to AI. From there, I went down this weird, almost hysterical rabbit hole in my head on my way to work. I was thinking about the long game of incorporating AI into anything involving human communication. If the technology is already this good, where somebody in their late 20s who is a fairly tech savvy person has to ask themselves, if I was talking to a real person or a robot, that is a huge red flag. And it's not really the premise of AI taking people's jobs by answering phones on off hours. If anything, that's a good thing, so people don't have to work off hours. To answer my stupid question about, can you get your tenant to give me my books, please? But besides the point, the real issue is what happens when this tech gets scary good and becomes indistinguishable from humans, or becomes just accessible to everybody. It kind of already is. In 6 months to 2 years, when people realize that they've been talking to mechanical machines instead of humans, what happens? When the first domino falls, everybody will get a taste of artificial isolation. Because speaking to a robot is risk-free. It's like wearing a mask in a YouTube video. You're not scared to sound dumb. You're not afraid to mess up or to stumble over your words. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. You don't invest emotionally. You don't have to give up vulnerability. It's nice. But speaking to a robot has incredible downfalls. And if AI gets to a point it can simulate connection, that's an even slipperier slope. I'm at the age now where I'm thinking about having children. I'm thinking about bringing another life into this world, but the speed at which things are becoming fake terrifies me. What if my child grows up in a world where everything outside of my control is taught by an algorithm? That's not good. It's taught by an algorithm that follows corporate agendas or government agendas. That's perfectly calculated. I could make a whole video about my conspiracy theories there. Let me know if you want. Drop it in the comments. But that's not really the point here. The point is this. This is going to cause a massive shift in how humans communicate. Once we get used to speaking risk-free to AI, how do we perform with real people? It will create a total lack of trust. Every conversation, unless you're staring somebody dead in the eyes, will carry the question, am I talking to a real person? And that leads to defragmentation of the reality that we are living in. Defragmentation of reality itself. With enough simulation, conscious or not, it will become normal to disassociate. It will become normal to doubt your own judgments about who you're really talking to question if anything is really real. A simulation within a simulation. And in that environment, humans are at a heavy disadvantage. We will be strategically outmatched by AI with above PhD level communicational skills. Controlling the conversation with perfect precision, and all we have to do is hope that the governments and the corporations behind all of it have our best interest in mind. Good luck. Good luck with that. But this is the direction I see society heading, and it makes me sick. It makes me sad. It makes me scared. I touched on this in a previous video. If you're not in my closest circle, you can't confirm that I'm real. You can't confirm that this video is real. You can't confirm that the person who has been speaking to you for the last 7 minutes is real. Spoiler alert, I'm real. But that's just what somebody who's not real would say. But it's a big issue. And for me, there are two options. I can barely trust that every conversation over the phone or email or any medium other than face-to-face interactions might be artificial, slowly deteriorating my grasp on reality, or that I'm just being a bit schizo. And I want to know if you feel the same. Just please start a conversation in the comments. I'll respond to you. And tell me if this concerns you too, and maybe how you plan on handling it. Because I don't have a solid plan. And with that being said, at the time of writing this, we have 525 subscribers. At the time of recording it, we have 522. So we are heading in a direction. Who knows? But that number means the world to me, regardless if it's up or down. And thank you for trusting me and putting your time into this content and letting me speak to you. That means so much to me. And with that being said, as always, I'll catch you next time.